Hey, what's up, everybody? I know it's been a long time since, I've really recorded anything for the blog, since I feel like for the last few months there hasn't been anything, I guess, movie-wise that came out that I felt would be interesting to really add to the channel. But I think this time around I might have found something that I think would be interesting to talk about. And that one is the long anticipated biopic of Michael Jackson. And I will say, Jafar Jackson, the nephew of Michael Jackson, he does a really good job capturing his uncle's mannerisms, the voice, the moves, the dance moves, and you get to see the complicated, relationship with his father, Joe Doc Jackson, who founded the Jackson Five, and he was someone that like very domineering, controlling, and kind of like emotionally and somewhat physical abusive to Michael as well, even though he has like a good relationship with his mother, Catherine. And you get to see like the hits, that people know of, such as like Thriller, Billie Jean, Human, Nature, Bad, Thriller, just to name a few. And most of the Jackson Five appears in the movie except for Randy Jackson, and of course Janet Jackson, since Janet Jackson was asked to participate in the movie, but she declined, I guess, for whatever her reasons were, whether it was trauma, from her brother's death all those years ago, personal reasons. But I will say, surprisingly, the film was way better than I anticipated. And you get to kind of see like a different side of Michael, like behind the performer. There's somebody who wants to like kind of branch out. I know it's have his own voice, have his own, sound. Even though he had a very good relationship, with his brothers, and he kind of has almost like, in a sense, almost like a childlike innocence. Since the Neverland references are mentioned in the movie, and the animals they had, including a chimp in the movie named Bubbles. So I would definitely say the movie's definitely worth checking out. And I think, for people who are fans of, Michael Jackson, I think this is definitely something worth checking out. So that's that. All right, everyone, until the next time.